Okay, good morning, everybody. It is not morning. I always do this. I say good morning. It is 20 to 6 p.m., but it's close enough, okay? The reason I wanted to start this particular video today is because I just thought I should, like I said, I've been doing a lot of video editing, and I just felt like I talk a lot about how I've done excessive amounts of research, but I feel like I haven't really actually had a chance to demonstrate just how excessive. And so what's happened is I just opened up my OneNote files. Okay, so here's the deal. I started working on, obviously, I've talked a million times about the old version of Beautiful Lives. I don't need to talk about that again. I procrastinated for 20 minutes recording a video on that. Italy, guys, remember Italy? I do. Okay, so yeah, I wrote the first one years and years and years ago. Whatever. I believe I started working on this version of it a while ago. So I probably started working on this draft of it 3 years ago or more, but not working on it, if you know what I mean. Because when I say that I was working on it, I mean that I was doing research. And the whole reason why I started working on this book this summer is because I was getting ready to move, and I went through my bookshelf and I came across stacks of pages with these I don't know why I hand wrote all of this, but I had pages upon pages of notes and research. And so I remember looking at it and thinking, okay, I can't pack all of this, right? I have to move. I have a laptop. Let's digitize this stuff. So I typed it all up. And I think it was while I was doing that, that's what kind of made me realize how much work I had already done. And I kind of thought, okay, you know what? It's really a waste to not just write this thing at this point. So I have just opened up my OneNote, and the OneNote is where all of these handwritten notes and everything made it into when I was digitizing. So we start off with the characters. I have a list of all of the main characters. I'm actually interested to see how much of this is the same and how much has changed. So I think that's what we're gonna look at here. What's changed? Main character, Lexi Gibbons, protagonist, check. Melissa Gibbons, mother, check. Although, like I've said before, I'm still not convinced I'm actually going to use Gibbons as their last name. Paul Gibbons, father. I don't think I've used dad's name at all in this particular draft. In the first edition, his name was Tom. I don't know when I switched his name to Paul, but a while after I started working on it, it kind of clued into me. One of my best friends is named Paul. Dad is not this kind of character. So I think I am going to change his name. I think I've been doing Aaron in all of the other planning documents. So in this document, he's Paul. So that is now the first we've changed. Okay, Ryder Gibbons, older brother. Nice. Jonah Gibbons, younger brother. Nice. Maya Hawkins. All of their last names have changed since this document. I don't think Maya's last name is ever mentioned, and I think the last names for the guys in the band are only ever mentioned once at the very start or something, but they've all changed. So I have Maya Hawkins, IB best friend, Sebastian McNeil, I think his last name is Stein, Nate Gregory, Toby Stitch, and Adam, I actually don't remember what Adam's last name is. I want to say McLean, but I'm not sure. Oh yes, okay, and then we have Jake and Chloe. Okay. So when I first started with this story, there were these two new characters from the IB program, Jake and Chloe, and they were supposed to be kind of like side-ish characters. And the whole thing with them was that they were going to be the ones that went to that young leadership conference with Lexi in Washington. But Chloe does actually make an appearance. And I think there is somebody, like there are scenes in the IB rooms where they talk to other people and other people introduce themselves. I may change that honestly, because when I wrote those scenes, it was much closer to the start, and I kind of thought that the school would be a bigger plot than it ended up being. Okay, Jesse Anderson, best friend from Utah. That did stay the same. Juliet Weiss, Adam's long-term girlfriend, close friend. Juliet's also an IB. Now, that's the other thing. Reagan. And then we have Hannah. Oh, okay, so Hannah was gonna be her nurse. And then Dr. Nightingale. Okay, other characters. See, okay, so here we go. I've named all of her teachers and everything. So Miss McLeod, literature, Senorita for Spanish, and we're gonna get to the classes later because that's where it gets ridiculous. Yeah, so I've got all of her teachers. I've got a whole medical team that I did not use a single name for, and then there's other peers. Oh my god, I even named a peer on the swim team. We didn't even have a scene with the swim team in it in the end. Okay, then we have Lexi's little character development thing with her personality traits. Then we have her biography, which is, holy crap, long. It's mostly the same. Okay, that's it for the characters. Then we have the timelines. It's pretty much the same up until Christmas. No, even further than that. Oh, wow. Okay, I guess I updated it more recently. Oh, up until until the cabin trip. So the cabin trip's when things went off the rails. Next up we have, oh god, we have a storyboard for Brighter Days. Whenever Whenever I listen to Brighter Days, I picture the final scene of like a movie. I can see it, guys. I can see it down to the second. I can see the epilogue to Brighter Days. And I had started writing a storyboard of what it would look like, and I stopped halfway through because I don't think I knew fully at the time. I think I was still working on it, and now I can't go back and do it because I can't even listen to the song. Then we have the IB program. Okay, guys, this document. First of all, why? Why did I choose to put her in IB? I think partially because I wanted to kind of illustrate that she's very studious and intense and goal-oriented. I believe I knew back then that she wanted to be an oncologist. So I think I knew that she was on the track to try and go to med school, and that's probably also why. But I don't know why I went so deep with the research. So this is the OneNote document, and this is the compilation of the probably 20 plus pages of handwritten notes that I found. It just kept going. It just kept going. And I was researching the same things over and over again. And I also, so the first thing we have on this document is the confirmed list of courses, because I was changing things around because it actually genuinely mattered to me that she was in geography and not history. I think it's mentioned maybe once what courses she's actually in. It's in there, definitely, that she was in geography, but I did not need to rework the entire thing just because I switched her from history to geography, but I did. So we start with that. So we've got our courses. We got literature standard level, Spanish standard level, psychology higher level, math standard level, biology higher level, geography higher level, and workshop. Then we have the class details, and this is now where the syllabus stuff came in. So I think I read all of the IB, the actual literature on the IB website, like every big document they had for the actual international program. I read the course content for all of that to figure out the things that they would be studying. I have written down for each course all of the different units and the different how many teaching hours per unit. So here's a little example of this. For her mathematics course, her standard level, this is literally what I have written. Also, I said literally just now because I have realized that I have now switched to using the word genuinely, and I feel like I need to mix it up a little bit, or maybe we'll just go to actually for a while. Okay, so here's the deal. This is what I actually have written in this document. So we've got math, algebra, 9 hours, function and equations, 24 hours, circular functions and trigonometry, 16 hours, vectors, 16 hours, statistics and probability, 35 hours, calculus, 40 hours, and mathematical exploration for 10 hours. Then underneath that, I have her course assessment for the final is her external exam. Paper 1 is short and extended response with no tech. She has 1 hour and 30 minutes to do this. Paper 2 is short and extended response with tech with 1 hour and 30 minutes. And the internal is an exploration research paper. Now this is the start. This is the overview. I did that for each course, all 6. And that all came actually from the IB program information. That came out of a licensed official document. Then we have the school year requirements. I think I half made some of this up, and I also have started going online and Googling course outlines for how specific schools and teachers taught these IB courses. So I was now actually getting course outlines from random schools, random classes that happened to be online. And I had trouble finding these for some reason. It's almost as if people don't need course outlines for grade 11 literature in the IB program online. People apparently don't really care about that, but I did. So I have come up with the major assignments for each class. So, you know, for literature, she has to analyze 1 text per quarter. Oh, and I've put the dates for each quarter of school. So we've got quarter 1, August 17th to October 14th. I'm serious, guys. So they're analyzing 1 text from August 17th to October 14th. Then there's a quarterly essay. So she's doing an essay in that time as well. A compilation of a portfolio assessed at the end of each quarter with daily homeworks, and a large group oral presentation only at the end of quarter 2. That's her literature, and I have one of these for every class. Then we have her teaching hours, which actually was math. 9 weeks per quarter, approximately 45 days per quarter with holidays, and you know I calculated that. 180 days per year, 75 hours of learning per year for standard learning, and 120 for higher learning, which means that every quarter you need to have 20 hours for standard and 30 for higher, so 2.5 50-minute classes per week for a standard and 450. Why did I do this? It's not in the book. The next thing is the daily schedule, and this is actually to the minute, to the point that I'm pretty sure I was calculating out to see what made sense for the right time for a break. And I do remember this as well. I was Googling high schools in Portland, Oregon, going on high school websites and looking at their daily actual schedules to take the times for them. I wasn't just making up times and saying, we got a 10-minute break. No, there's 7-minute breaks, because that made more sense. I really, really wanted to make sure this was accurate. Is the class schedule in it? I'm pretty sure there is one sentence in one of the first chapters that said what time the school bell rang. I don't need to know that from 11:01 a.m. to 11:51 a.m. she has math class. Nobody needs that. We don't need this. Okay, that's the schedule. It gets worse. This is the problem, is that it actually gets worse. Because from here, I have now gone on to make not one, not 2, but 3 different lists of what they do in class every day of the week and what they have for homework for each class every day of the week. And I've done it both divided up by day. So I have, for on Monday, they do this in literature class and this is their homework. Also the due dates. So for example, on Monday in literature class, they have actually, no, this is the old one. There's a newer one. Because there's 3. So yeah, I have one that's the days, and then I have one that's the classes. Oh, and then another one of just everything that's due every day. Oh, geez. Okay, yeah. So on Mondays, let's just do a quick example, because this is the stuff that I know. This is canon. On Mondays, she does passage analysis in first period literature class and has discussion questions that are due on Tuesday. That is canon. I can confirm that is a thing that happens in her life. That is unbelievable. Would anybody like to know the homework that she has due on Tuesday mornings? No, let's do Wednesday. Wednesday's a rough day for her. On Wednesdays, she has journal discussion questions due in literature. She has workbook pages due for Spanish. She has comprehension questions due for biology, content questions, and portfolio updates for geography. Damn. And guys, this is now the point where this is not research anymore. This is now, I am just sitting around and coming up with this stuff. And then there is this list of general IB expectations. And I am 99% sure, again, that this is not coming from any official document anymore. This is now just me coming up with expectations for her classes, because I actually don't know why I did this. Daily homework to be done by hand in carbon paper notebooks, 1 copy to be handed in and 1 to retain. All homework feedback will be provided digitally on class portal webpage, unless in workbook. Why? What? What? Oh my God. Oh my God. This may have been a blessing in disguise, because I just saw a line on this general expectation thing, and this may have just solved my problem for chapter 21. Oh my God. Yes! See? These videos. I'm not just procrastinating. I just came up with the idea for the last final chapter. It says here, once per month, all students attend a monthly wellness weekend, which is not a thing that's happened, and I don't know where that came from, but that's what they can do. I have been brainstorming for days what they're going to do on this trip away for the weekend. Easy, done. Senior wellness weekend. Nice. Okay, that's 21 sorted. All submitted work in black or blue pen. Why? Why is that important? So that's the IB program. That is what I've done. It's not even just research anymore. I've been going through this stuff, and some of the things that I do, I mean, the whole Lexi to Lex thing was ridiculous. There's the calendar. That's the other big thing, is the calendar, where I have marked everything to the day. Every notable event in her life for 2 years is accounted for in a calendar, and it's color coded. Oh, and not only do I have a calendar, I have 2, because I needed that. There's the collage that I put together of random actors that I chose for the characters and made a 12-slide PowerPoint with collage photos of them from online. That was weird. I think it helps, but I also think it is a really good way to pretend that I'm not wasting my time. Okay, let's go edit this video together, and then we can get started with the night. Oh, I'm so happy I figured out 21. See? Worth it. All that research, turns out I needed it in the end. Okay, let's stop doing research and planning and just write the thing. We're almost there. We really are there. Like, we really are doing it. This is happening. It's happening now. Oh my God, what is chapter 28? Oh my goodness, I am still going, but it is 22 pages. I'm so close. I really am. I have done radiation, I think. It's really quite short because it doesn't need to be longer. I just did a scene with her going to school, not being able to make it because she's tired. Ryder comes to get her. She goes home, has some time to rest, and then she goes. I did write a thing about radiation. She did really well because it's not something that she went through last time. So it's not awakening any trauma in her. Might change it. Who knows? I'm done with it. I'm over it. And then she goes home, has Nate come over, and I got through, yes, a whole scene about them, and then wrote the little intro to the care team meeting, just kind of summing up the radiation. So we are now done all the way through to the end of the care team meeting, and I'm very close to being done the scene where Ryder tells her about the transplant. I was still hoping to do something for chapter 33 tonight, but if I could finish 28, I could probably tackle 33 tomorrow. Oh yeah, 28, man. Wow, that chapter has been a lot. But I think I've got everything in it that I need now. I think we are at a point now where everything is kind of tied up because it's starting to need to be. That's the thing, is I'm running out of space to bring in things that I've forgotten about. Take a break, come back, we'll do this. We'll bang out the rest of this, however many pages this ends up being. I'm thinking the last part will be quite short, and then we will see where we're at after that. Nice! Holy mother, 28, wow. At least it wasn't 32! Okay guys, we are doing it. We are about to write the last scene of chapter 28. Yeah, so just the lead up to the transplant, I am gonna make it short. I'm just gonna kind of give the run through. So I have pulled up the transplant document one more time. We are gonna review all the testing that she's gonna go through. But let's just bang it out and be done with the thing, all right? I'm over this. I am so done with chapter 28. I'm glad we've reached the end. It was quite a wild ride. I am quite pleased with a lot of it. I do think it bridged things together. I also think past Kate really did a number on me because she basically just wrote later on stuff and kept saying, oh, well, okay, this is a thing, so I just need to make sure I explain it in chapter 28. And I put all of this stuff into chapter 28, and I have been working on this for how long now? Days. So let's get this last bit done, bang her out, and then, oh, it is 20 to 4. Yeah, I may be done for the night. But once I do this, guys, we're down to 6. 3 of them are under control started. One of them is going to be a one-night blitz. We are doing chapter 32 like a band-aid. Chapter 20 is the final chapter, and chapter 21, we'll figure it out. We can do it. We can do this, okay? We've got this. Okay, it's time to stop talking. It's time to stop stalling. It's time to finish chapter 28, and it will have been a good night. Okay, do you know what? It's short, it's quick, it's 4 a.m., and you know what? It's done. I am okay with it. I think it is fine, at least for now. And I think it doesn't need to be longer than it is. So you know what? I'm calling it. I'm done. We did it. Chapter 28 is done. 21 pages long. Wow. That was something. Okay, so we have 20 and 21, we have 30, and then we have 32, 33, 34. Nice job, Kate, leaving. Okay, well, it's okay, because now I can work on 30 and 21 anytime. Yeah, I think tomorrow night, probably let's do some 33. Chapter 30 is the other big one. That's the big tie together one now. 6 pages right now. I think it's bedtime. I think I am going to give myself a pat on the back for finishing chapter 28, and I think I am going to maybe have some toast. I think I'm gonna go to bed.